So I decided that I'm gonna use tarot to try to help people. This is a place of healing, okay? On my channel, what I do and stuff, I want to help people to dig even deeper within themselves. All right. So I watched a documentary yesterday about the crack pandemic, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Things that I already knew because I was so heavily affected by it that I could see it in my environment. But some things I didn't know. Like crack baby is a myth, and it was created to target black women and black men as well. But see, the crack pandemic helped the transition into the new Jim Crow. Studies have showed that only 3% of children that was born to mothers who smoke crack, only 3% of them was had any traces of substance in their system. And last year, dealing with my trifling ass family, they threatened to jump me, they talk shit about me, and on top of that, they talk shit about my family. They called me a crack baby, which I wrote a poem about it. That's where she get it from. That's where she get it from. Nah, I think they just talk shit about, us and stuff like that. And, 'cause on top of that, she also labeled me and told everybody that I was retarded and autistic. I was surprised about that one. I really was. Um, Now she ain't never said these things to me directly, but she said it to the public about me. That's what she wanted people to think about me, that I was a crack baby, and because of that, I was autistic and slow. But I accomplished everything that she fucking accomplished. I got that stupid ass college degree and all of that shit. I made a living for myself. So it was just crazy for her to even do that. Anyways, yeah, I'm still hurt from that situation. So I'm gonna be talking about it until I fully heal from it, which is taking a long time. But I don't know if people understand how trifling that shit was. It was so fucking trifling. Anyways, now there's a whole lot of conspiracies when it comes to the crack pandemic. Like it being pushed into black communities for an agenda that later played out. It was like created for that. And it was real interesting to see that it was Richard Pryor who even gave people the ideal to freelance cocaine to turn it into crack, which made crack cheap. Ain't that something? So Richard Pryor was smoking crack way before, because in the industry, they be having drugs that we ain't even never heard of, okay? So, and I guess he didn't do it right. Either way, it blew up in his face and he caught on fire. And the news reported it, everybody talked about it, and then that's when people knew that you could freelance cocaine to turn it into crack, and you could scratch that cocaine even more. So after that, the hoods, the black communities were already going through extreme poverty due to other reasons, due to other economic reasons. If the job rate is low in the country, it's the lowest in the black communities, in the ghettos, in the hoods. Also, we had a president, which I think it was Reagan, who cut off programs like free lunch and free breakfast for children. And do you know that the Black Panthers some time ago, because everybody want to make the Black Panthers seem like they were just terrorists, but no, that's not the fact. The Black Panthers just wanted to have some sense of control of their communities because they was tired of watching their people constantly being abused. So they started the program of feeding children, creating free lunches, free meal for children in the community. The Black Panthers did a lot of good. And the fact that they always silencing people are groups um, that is actually creating like real change. It tells you like all of this shit is done on purpose. All of this shit done on purpose. That's why I strongly believe that the only way to get out of this hell is to create peace, is to create unity amongst everybody. Like, even though we integrated, we are extremely separated. That's why I'm such a, I guess, advocate for post-traumatic slave syndrome, because the way that that woman who wrote that book, the way that she explained it, which I ain't even, I watched the her presentation, but I haven't read the book, and that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm gonna read the book. I might even read it on my podcast. So, which people might not even listen to it. So, when I do like these readings and stuff like that, I would try to like break down what I learned so that people who don't have time to read a book or to listen to me read a book or whatever, you come and you get one of these readings or whatever like that, then you could learn something about it and take it with you. So I'm gonna try to break it down into smaller increments and feed it to y'all. But In her explanation, she explained how she explained the psychology of it, how it affected everybody. How did white people was able to suppress any amount of empathy to do the things that they did to slaves, to black people? And the psychology of it is interesting, but it's not post-traumatic slave syndrome. I strongly feel like it wasn't built to create separateness. What she was explaining is that we all need healing, and that the effects of post-traumatic slave syndrome trickles down. But you know me, it's even deeper than that, because all of this shit started way before slavery. Okay? We could go back in biblical times and see like some of the creations of greed, killing people, oppressing people, monopolizing people, separating people. The fact of the matter is that the people that is truly in power, I don't even believe that they give a fuck about skin color. I don't believe that it's really a that's not the reason why they do it. As long as we down here and we fighting each other, we fighting over dumb shit, they will stay in a position of power, because we cannot as a humanity get ahead if we do not unite. There's no way. Repeatedly, over and over and over again. It's fucking impossible. We will have to unite. We will have to put our differences aside, because racism is stupid, is dumb as fuck for anybody to be racist. But we just can't ignore shit. We have to get to the root of the fucking problem. We can't just be like, oh, I don't trust white people. I don't fucking trust them. Because I know that they are still affected by that mentality. They show it in little actions that they take. They either strongly believe in stereotypes, even if they feel like, oh, you different from other black people. They lack empathy for certain type of black people because they can't understand the evolution of it. Some people just be like, oh, people is just bad. Nah, this shit was created, okay? So we can't just ignore the problem and be like, you know what, we just gonna work together. I also don't, I see other, there's a YouTuber named Gazi. I've been following him on and off for years. At one point in my life, a few years ago, I agreed with his point of view. I don't anymore, because I see that that shit don't work. It hasn't worked with him yet. But he has got white people on his side, on his team. He's very militant. He's kind of like offsprings of like the Black Panther and stuff like that. But those programs don't work today either. All he's gonna do is manifest the same shit that happened to the Black Panthers. But the white people that is fighting with him are also carrying this narrative of that shit that don't matter. It's still a separation. Like they might look at their white skin and be like, shit, I got white privilege. Shit, it's fucked up how brown people are treated. But do they fully understand? A lot of times they don't. A lot of times they working out a guilty conscience and feel like they just have to use their white privilege in order to help black people, which is a stepping stone. I understand. It is a stepping stone. So I ain't hating on it. It's just that I just don't feel like they're going deep enough because a lot of times I see Gazi wasting his time arguing with white people. That's a fucking waste of time. And he have this strong dislike of white people. And he talked about his trauma some years ago. He had a friend, a close friend, that was killed by police officers. And he was in a community that was heavily targeted, white officers killing black people. And he's still operating out of that trauma. So let's go back into the crack pandemic. I lost a brother because of it. Like the effects of the crack pandemic, I still see it lingering in the black communities especially. But did you know that 2/3 of the people who smoke crack was white people? But only black people was targeted when it came to the whole breakdown on crack, the whole war against drugs. Only black people was targeted in black communities. And as soon as they started this crackdown, you started to see the prisons being full of black people. And they working for free labor. It's slavery. Not just that, but they created media and programming around demonizing people who was on drugs instead of recognizing like they have a problem, like we should do something about that. Or we could even focus on the fact of why do these people feel the need to escape? Because in this particular documentary, most of the people who spoke about being on crack at some time in their life, they first spoke about a trauma. They'll be like, yeah, my husband abandoned me and my kids and I just couldn't take no more. I was so depressed. I couldn't find no work. I was so depressed. And then you got the drug dealers. They demonized the drug dealers. And I like the fact that the dude called it street capitalists. Because when the crack pandemic first hit, it made people who was in extreme poverty become millionaires. Like overnight. And then greed took over. So we have to think about we have to think about the whole thing in a whole. We see places like in the UK where if you are caught with drugs, instead of like instantly throwing you in prison, they will put you in a treatment program. They made a lot of drugs that are not that harmful for you. They made it legal. Like, there is a reason why drugs exist, okay? Cocaine at its natural form, people been using it for centuries. Poppy seeds, marijuana, all those things that from like on a natural level, they was like, I feel like they here for a reason. Now I'm not saying that I think that everybody should go out and do drugs and stuff like that, but it's a whole different situation when they take like a natural substance and they break it down and they break it down and they break it down and they add chemicals to it, and then it turn into something else that you can't even function on. You smoke crack, you can't just go to work. I can if I smoke a joint. If I smoke a joint, I could still go to work. I could still make a living. But crack was a substance that it would take away your whole life. But there's a reason why people been using drugs since the beginning of the time. Life is hard as fuck down here. Life is hard as fuck down here. So I don't judge people. I don't judge them. I have empathy for them. And maybe if they could heal, they won't even feel the need to do that anymore. Like lately, I've been very disconnected from weed. I don't smoke it as much. I don't smoke weed every day. I don't feel the need to. And if I do, it's like once a day at night, maybe when I'm bored or some shit. And I'm not saying nothing about people who smoke every day and all day. I'm just saying, like, when you get healing, you stop feeling the need to have something liberate you. So, that's what needs to happen. Real healing. The solutions that they have for things do not have like any compassion in it, any empathy in it. But it's a reason for that. Even if things were better for us all, like if we all had enough, think about it. People, if we all was like on equal playing fields, people that empower, they will be empowered for different reasons. There will still be people in power, but it would be for probably spiritual reasons. Like, do this person really care about us? Because there's some people that naturally can create order out of chaos. And there's people who don't want to be in a position of power. Like, everything will work out for itself, but yeah, let's just get into this reading. So, the reading is going to be about why I should have thought about this more. um, what was your spiritual reason for being affected by the crack pandemic? What was the spiritual reason? Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, hey group one, this is your pick a card reading. Alright, so right off the bat, I get that when it comes to your situation and how the crack pandemic affected you, I feel like it was somebody that you was in love with. Either they was taken away from you, as in, I'm here in jail, but either way, it left you feeling abandoned and lost and lonely. And you never really was the same after that. Like, you might have stopped dating completely. You might not have allowed yourself to fall in love again. You kept yourself guarded and restricted. Like, you just don't allow yourself to be free or vulnerable. And I feel like there's so much inside of you that you want to express. But it's like you keep it all inside. This also could be a situation where um you are in a relationship with somebody who is doing time and you decided that you're going to be faithful to this person no matter what. So you're basically doing time with them. For some people, I feel like this could also be a situation where the person um was murder. Like, there's this person is just not in your life anymore, and I'm sorry that you had to experience that. I know what that feels like. I do feel like you expressing yourself freely, you living your life without so many restraints, will be very healing for you. Like, just being fully yourself. Because I feel like with this crack pandemic, it took away your ability to fully express yourself. You don't feel safe around people anymore. you created strong boundaries and principles around it, but some of these boundaries and principles keep you stuck and restricted, almost feeling like you can't breathe sometimes. I feel like this could have manifested into anxiety. I feel like you could have panic attacks that nobody even know about. Something that you haven't even got help for, something that you haven't went to a psychologist for or anything. You just found your own way of dealing with it. But I feel like when the anxiety do come up to the surface, it is expressed like anger. It's expressed like anger. Um, mm. I also feel like there's a need for you to focus what is your intentions when it comes to people and the things that you do. Like you may have created this personality that your main intentions is to gain something versus to find love versus to create peace. Um, it's not that I feel like you're selfish. It's like I feel like that's a part of you being so guarded, so trapped in your own world that you refuse to let anybody into it. Um, I also feel like you could attract partners that they like have issues with commitment. They might not have a lot going for themselves. They might be limited themselves, like they're not as ambitious as what you deserve. Like I feel like you might attract partners like that, and it could be because you are waiting on somebody that's doing time. So you might have like a little fling on the side or whatever, but you don't let it get too deep. You do have an adventurous side, a side of you that really wants to be free. Like you really want to break free out of this cage. All right, let me just get a few more cards and I will be back. All right, so yeah, I'm getting confirmation on your temper with this Queen of Wands reverse. My temper is pushing people away and my selfishness can make me unattractive. That's also confirming what I was saying about changing what is your intentions when you communicate with people or stop. It's like you hyper focus on what can I gain out of this situation. And I feel like a part of it is because you're afraid of being taken advantage of. And it's almost like a you get triggered. These are anxiety attacks, but you blow up, like your temper, you get angry. It really is anxiety though. With this sun reverse, why can't I be myself? This is also confirming um you keeping yourself restricted, bottled up. You don't allow yourself to just be free, to be how you want to be. Like you very guarded. The card read, why can't I be myself? I'm so unhappy. I should have spoken up. Mm. I'm also getting that you are a keeper of a lot of secrets. Um, People have constantly put you in that position where you have to keep people's secrets, and it could be some very, very heavy secrets. Now, I'm not saying that you should tell somebody or whatever, but you have to find a way to express it, even if it's to yourself. Um, Something that helps me is recordings. You could get you like something that you don't want to, if you don't want to record on your phone, buy you a digital recorder and talk to it. Share your secrets with it. You could delete it afterwards, or you could keep it and stuff like that. If they are secrets that you are afraid to let out, um, make sure you find a way to like keep it private or guarded or whatever. But either way, you have to speak it. You have to get it out. Talk to a very, very close friend or something. Alright, so with this Empress card, I know my worth and the power of my femininity. I bring nourishment and abundance everywhere I go. Okay, so that's a very positive card. That means that you are connected to your divinity. But and I also feel like you're very independent. But it could be all the way up to your own detriment. I feel like you very independent, you could take care of yourself, but a lot of these, it's almost like principles, but a lot of these is keeping you guarded from connecting with people deeply, um, allowing somebody to take care of you. Like you always the person that's taking care of everybody, but you don't feel comfortable with receiving it. I also feel like you can be emasculating, especially like to men or to women, like just emasculating. So, yeah, you have to allow people to care for you too. Um, that's something that you should write into your principles. You have to open yourself up a little bit more to love so that you can attract people who want to care for you, want to look out for you, want to nourish you instead of like you nourishing everybody else. Get what I'm saying? You have to change your intentions. Listen, treating people the way that you want to be treated is not just beneficial to them, it's beneficial to you as well. If you start to live by that, you will see a major difference in your life. Just take a time and try that. Like, try to make yourself conscious of that. Work on your triggers. Um, Spirit is showing me the rubber band. The rubber band method. You wear a rubber band on you. When you getting triggered, you snap it. After some time, it will help you to recognize the triggers. Once you recognize them, then you could defeat them. You could stop letting them have so much control over you. So look into that because you have to be able to catch yourself. Because one of your triggers, you get triggered is anxiety, but you go the fuck off. So yeah, you have to work on that. Not just for everybody else, but for you. All right? So I believe in you and stay blessed. All right. So instantly, when I was pulling these cards, I was hearing mother. So this could be um, a woman or somebody that you've seen as a mother figure, and it's connected to being disappointed. It's like you felt like you was let down. I'm also hearing abandoned. You felt like you was let down and abandoned by this person. I feel like this is more of a situation that you was dealing with somebody who was an addict, and they was very important in your life. And because they was an addict, you felt like they constantly disappointed you. They was never there for you. Like, I'm starting to get passionate about it. um, I feel like that's something that you might even said to them, like, you never was there for me. And it's something that creates a very intense emotion inside of you. Um, this whole experience made you emotionally unbalanced. It's like you can't get control of your emotions. You definitely somebody that a lot of times your emotions control you. Damn, I'm tasting strawberries for some reason. Some reason. Okay, so and I feel like this might have started when you was young, but it still affects you emotionally today. And this person is somebody that you really wanted to connect with and create a bond with, but they kept disappointing you. It's like in your childhood, all you knew was disappointment. So it created abandonment issues. Major, 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 major. Um, yeah, with this temperance reverse here. is something that's very impactful on you and your emotional being. All right, I didn't even pull the other cards yet, so let me do that and be right back. Look, the first card I got, yeah, there's something is going on with your emotional state. You feel like you just don't have no control of it. It's something very major though. Lack of discipline, dramatic presentation, withdrawal that waits for opportunity, expression of dissatisfaction and boredom, and detailed work. My bad, y'all. Like, I think it's because these muffs are over my ears. Hold on, so I can hear myself better. Like when you can't hear yourself, it really fucks up your speech. Yeah, that's so much better. The egoism to indulge in victory and lose vigilance, lacks the resources and depth to answer challenges, can't adapt to challenges, egoism to reject withdrawal. See, that's the second time in this particular deck it talked about withdrawal. Hold on, let me see those together. Withdrawal that waits for opportunity, egoism to reject withdrawal and face possible defeat. Ego weakens your chance for progression. Okay, I feel like the emotional instability that this causes in your life, that you might even think that you have a mental illness, which what I'm feeling like you really just experiencing post traumatic PTSD, which is, damn, what's the meaning of that? I know what it means, but I want to give the post traumatic stress syndrome or something. I don't know. But where it comes from is when you go through very traumatic events, and when something trigger you, you feel like you in that space all over again. You feel the emotions of it, you feel the pain of it. It could sometimes be like a out of body experience. They strongly associate it with war, people who get like shell shock or something like that. But you don't have to be in the military or be in war to experience it, okay? Because it's something that I struggle with sometimes. In my past, I struggle with it even more, but that's what I'm feeling for you. So you might, I'm hearing bipolar. So you feel like you might be bipolar when really you just traumatized. You traumatized. All right. You have moments of extreme depression, but I feel like a part of you is starting to realize that it's deeper than just a mental disorder, a diagnosis. It's deeper than that. You're starting to realize it. I feel like these shifts that we've been going through, you've been in a process trying to heal. You might be on medication though, and that medication, I'm not telling you that you should stop taking it, Please don't um feel like that. But I feel like the medication can make you feel so numb that you may not feel the need to deal with the root cause. So it's just a band-aid, and it's like you starting to realize that. You really starting to realize that. And that's kind of like traumatizing you all over again. Like I'm so sorry. Cause I feel like it's scary for you to not feel like you are in control sometimes. Like it's really scary for you sometimes. And it's something that you deeply want to heal from. You have to forgive this person though. You have to understand like they wanted to be a better person for you. It's like they just couldn't. Um, it's really a hard process to get off these drugs. It's a hard, difficult, painful process. Even when the person gets clean and they go back into this fucked up world, you know, the stress of the world makes them want to escape again. And, we could put the blame on a lot of factors, but I'm just breaking it down and telling you what it is. I feel like you was to a point that you starting to understand that though. Maybe because now you are older, you starting to understand like why people do some of the things that they do. Just like a person who go to prison and then they had a mind set up like when I get out of prison, like I ain't messing with that stuff no more. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back to prison. And they get out into the world. Now they have a felony on their record. They try to do the right thing, what society tells them is right. They try to get a job. They might be on probation, so they trying to keep clean. They disconnected from certain people. But the only job that will hire them do not give you the potential of actually moving up in life. It keeps you stagnant and stuck, and people will find any reason to fire you, or they might not even be able to find a job now that they have a felony on their record. So if you get hungry enough, you're going to do what you have to do in order to eat, and they punish you for it. This world is so fucked up that trust and believe we could all be fucked up by it and become horrible people from it. Let me get this card and come back. Okay, so I feel like when it comes to you and your healing, you might need to get out of the environment that you in. You might need to go somewhere that is a little bit more quiet, somewhere that you could get more in tune with yourself. Usually people with like abandonment issues, it could go both ways. They could refuse to connect with anybody, or they could become codependent on other people. And with you, I'm feeling like you leaning towards the codependent side. So you will have to learn how to be by yourself, be comfortable with being alone. You will have to deal with yourself, get in tune with who you are. I'm kind of getting the feeling that you might be a little bit afraid of yourself. So you have to heal that. Um, I feel like it would be a good time to, if you have codependent relationships, detox from them. Let them know that you need some time to yourself to go on like a hiatus. Um, Deal with your emotions the best way you can, exercise, but actually deal with them. Don't run from them. Face them. Ask yourself, like, why I feel like this. And I'm gonna work through it with you because this is the direction that I want to take my channel. So come back and, see what I'm doing or whatever. But, I don't want you to be like dependent on anything outside of yourself. You have to learn how to depend on yourself. Also, take time to apologize to people that you hurt without any excuses. Put yourself in their shoes. Tell them that you understand that you hurt them based off of these factors. I hurt you because I yelled at you. I hurt you because I hit you. I hurt you because I abandoned you. And then you could go into the reason why if you fully understand, but do not make excuses. If you say, I hurt you because I abandoned you, don't make excuses for it. Be real with it. Be like, look, I'm scared of attachments. I'm scared of commitment because I'm hurt. And I hate that I did that to you. Be sincere about it. Don't do it if you can't be sincere. That will really help to heal. Okay? Alright, so stay blessed and I believe in you. Alright, group 3. Let's get right into it. So, the crap pandemic created commitment issues when it comes to you. You afraid to give, especially to feminine energy. With this Queen of Cups here reverse, it's like you look for that a woman that's extremely empathetic, maybe even motherly. Well, the Queen of Pentacles is more motherly, but when it comes to the Queen of Cups, this is like a woman with a huge heart and just give and give and give and give and give. And like with some people who choose this group, you take and take and take and take and don't give anything. You may be a breadcrumber, especially when it comes to women. It's almost like you feel entitled to their love, to their respect, to their care, to their give, and you are afraid to give anything in return. It made you extremely guarded, but I feel like a lot of times you act like you're not. Like you be guarded, but you will put on a front that you not guarded. Like you also, I got Aries, Leo, Cancer here. Like you may, with this King of Wands, you may be a fire sign. I mean, there's a lot of fire energy here, a lot of wands. And the main focus here is on give and take. There's an imbalance in your life when it comes to give and take. And so I feel like this must be coming from a mother figure in your life that it really tainted your outlook on women in general. Cause like with this nine of wands here, it almost make me want to be like, you not that guarded, but you is. But you really know how to put on this front like, I'm an open person. And it's like you will get a lot of Queen of Cups in your life, and then it's like you turn them upside down because you don't want to give in return. Because it's like you afraid to be taken advantage of, but you end up taking advantage of divine feminine energy. That's what I'm hearing. Like specifically divine feminine energy. Because I feel like you picky when it comes to women. Like you find good women, and then the way that you are with them, you make them guarded. You make them feel like they feel taken advantage of. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Refusal to share the benefits of growth, inner growth that empowers reclusiveness, lack of maturity, and mistakes. So you could even be a bit reclusive. It's like maybe like when you get into a relationship, you start out strong as fuck. You like you make this person feel like you're not guarded. Like you open and you want this. And then as the relationship develops, you become even more reclusive. You become even more stingy. It's like, damn. This other card, hypocrisy, lack of ambition, unnatural expression of leadership. That count, I really get that energy. Like with this King of Wands, you're a leader in your own right, but it's like it's a false mask. Like you act like a leader, but you don't feel like a leader. You don't truly own that, and you selfish with it. And I don't mean to be like so harsh. Um, Let me remind you that I'm not trying to tear you down. I'm just pointing out how this crap pandemic influenced you. So I'm looking at the trauma, and then after I let you know what the trauma is, then I will go into the healing. Okay? So please don't feel like I'm judging you, I'm talking down on you. Um, I don't want you to get so triggered that you run away because you have a tendency to do that. I'm gonna keep it real. You have the tendency to do that. And it's very hurtful, especially to this Queen of Cups energy. You turn it upside down. It's like you're really good at holding your passions back. Because with all this wands, I feel like that you're very passionate. But you hold it back, especially with this Queen of Cups energy. And then what fell out with the Queen of Cups, because I was only going to take 4 cards. But what fell out with it is the Six of Pentacles. This is the motherfucking card of give and take. So you be stingy than a mother effer when it comes to women. But I feel like you take and take and take, especially when it comes to their love. Maybe not so much their resources, because maybe you like, man, I could take care of myself. But you will take and take and take and take when it comes to their love, their empathy, their heart, and will give nothing in return. You are a breadcrumber. Just gonna keep it all the way real. Alright. Let's get some of these cards right here, see what they say. The Devil. It came out sideways, so when cards come out sideways, like the reverse and upright definition matters to me. So I'm trying to escape my problems. I'm in need of something outside of myself. And I need to get myself together, nowhere but up. That's the reverse. So I feel like you have awareness. It's like you are aware of this energy. But it's like you don't really know how to heal it or stop doing it, because it's like at this point it comes so naturally to you. Work harder, I mean work smarter, not harder. How can I be more efficient? Like you may throw yourself into work to so you don't have to focus on this. Look, oh my god, the Page of Wands came next to the Page of Wands in the other deck, the reverse. These cards ain't telling no motherfucking lie. Now, I take both the meanings to this as well. Like a lot of your cards kind of fell out sideways. So it's like you aware of it, but it's like you can't reach the part where you healing, or you throw yourself into work so you don't have to think about it or deal with it. You don't have to think about this aspect of yourself. So you in between, I'm feeling young and spontaneous, I'm eager to start something new, and I need to lighten up a little and stop taking things so personally. I think that you are so passionate. You have like a lot of emotion. And you could get triggered easily. Like somebody could say something to you and you instantly go into the energy of distrusting them and feeling like, oop, well there it go. There go a reason to be guarded. So, and it's their fault. because they said something stupid or they did something that I didn't like or something like that. But it's like you don't even try to talk to them about it. You don't try to work it out with them or nothing. You just become guarded and stingy as fuck. Oh, oh, okay. I might be like, oh, look at this. The Queen of Cups, but it's the Queen of Wands. So this one, only card that truly came out upright. I know that is power in my sexuality, and my confidence allure others. This came next to the cards with the Queen of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like this is more so like the type of women that you're attracted to. Cause this give me strong masculine energy. So and it's like you aware of the power of feminine energy. So there must be like a trauma with your mother or something. Cause it's almost like subconsciously you try to undermine that power of the feminine energy. And that comes from a hurt, a pain, a trigger within yourself. And to keep you away from divine love. And I feel like you get lucky, like you get so many opportunities to connect with like divine feminine women, and then you like don't really appreciate it. Okay, get some cards on how can you heal from this. Oh my goodness, unconditional love. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. You have to start practicing unconditional love, not just with other people, but with yourself. You have to be more like understanding of people, especially feminine energy. Treat people like you want to be treated. Inner wisdom. See, I feel like you're a person with so much wisdom because with all these sideways cards, it's like you very self-aware, but it doesn't change you from your toxic behaviors. So inner wisdom, you know what to do. Oh my God. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate actions without delay. So everything I'm saying is kind of like a confirmation. It's like you already know. You know that you like this. Look, independent. Your independence is the foundation for your strength and success. Alright, so I feel the conflict with this card for this pal. I feel like this is the way that you, like when you see this toxic behavior, this is what you like hide behind it. Like independence. I feel like you already fiercely independent, but it's to an extent that it is toxic because you don't feel the need to like let anybody in, and you never want to be dependent on anybody, or you feel like this is the role that women should take or whatever in your own toxic, maybe even misogynistic type way. So I feel like you need to heal your outlook on independence. through unconditional love and forgiveness. Even though I feel like this pal is more a masculine energy, I do feel like pal 2 is also very relevant to you in a way, especially on the part about the healing process. Um, or I guess the part of, because I feel like with group 2, they trigger and then get angry. You get triggered and you like shut down. You become guarded. You become disconnected. You become fiercely independent. So I feel like the two groups are really different. I just feel like it's something that you could gain from that group, you could learn from. So, yep. But that is your reading. I believe in you. You gotta believe in yourself. Stay blessed.